Alright. Hello, hello. Checking everything's working. Okay, so we last left off doing the level 83 quests, and we helped the third promise get to the Yok Huy, which are the giant people in Urqopacha, in the southern part of Urqopacha, at Warlar's Echo, and there we met with a few of the giants there, and they explained that they were keeping Valigarmanda captive in ice, an ice that it actually encased itself in, and it was an eternal ice, so it wouldn't really necessarily come undone. And then we went on our journey through the zone, and we were supposed to find Gurfurlur, who is the elector for the Yok Huy, and we ended up going to one of their grave sites, Proof, and it's essentially named for the proof of one's existence. So the Yok Huy believe that if your story is told forever, you essentially live on forever, even if your body has perished. And it was quite beautiful and poetic. They believe that just because one has died doesn't mean they no longer are a part of this world. Their history lives on. And they actually build their sepulchers, which are their above ground gravestones, and before they pass, and so they can carve in their stories, their live stories, their friends' stories into their own sepulchers, and their friends will come and carve more stories into them to keep them alive, friends and family. And we went over to the Indelible Passage, where we met another Yok Huy who told us of their essentially the Yok Huy's story and passage of their lineage, essentially. So they actually used to be quite a prominent race in this world, and they had dominated a lot of Tyrol. And when they were a stronger peoples, they were much larger, and they had controlled all of the southern parts, the Yak T'el. All of this they had basically sort of conquered. They weren't like tyrants, but they had conquered all this land. And when they went to go conquer the north, because they wanted to get peace across the land, which is, as we know, a bad way of getting peace is to conquer other nations, they went to Yak T'el, and what was normally a common cold or illness for the peoples of Yak T'el, it was extremely detrimental to the Yok Huy, and 9 of 10 would perish from this, some would call it disease, but it was basically an illness that barely affected those in Yak T'el that normally live there. And it also weakened them to the point where they could no longer grow offspring, or if they could have offspring, they were in a smaller, sort of weakened state. So we met with the smaller versions of all the Yok Huys, and then eventually we were tasked to go to Warkor Zamor, which is the giant summit, humongous elevation mountain. It's over here, which ended up being a dungeon. So we had to climb to the top of it within the dungeon. And there at the very top, we found Gurfurlur. Or is that his name? It's one of those names. And we fought him as the trial for our feats. And then we learned of that the third promise, second and first promise, their father was essentially given burial rights for the top of the summit workhorse, where only the warriors that fought off Valigarmanda were allowed to be have their grave sepulchers. And him and the 7 others were carved into this stone. While we were doing that, Galool Ja Ja, the fourth promise, he came to Warlord's Echo. He went inside of the temple, and he actually freed Valigarmanda, which was extremely terrible. It brought so much chaos to the realm when Valigarmanda was in full power back in the den, and you can see it throughout the world how much damage it actually did, and its damage is eternal. For as long as its fires burn, it just keeps burning forever. Its lightning strikes forever, and its ice stays forever. So then we were tasked with well, we weren't tasked with it. We actually decided on our own accord to go fight off Valigarmanda in its weakened state, because it had been imprisoned for 80-something years. So it went off to Warcore Lardor, which is a sacred grounds for the Yok Hui's peoples. And we were told not to go there, but we were proven to be strong enough to go there. So we fought off Valigarmanda once again in its weakened state, and that was the 93 trial. So an 8-person counter, and I just did duty support for both the dungeon and that. And then after that, we were proven to do the feat of ice, which was originally we were to strengthen the I guess the ice imprisonment of Valigarmanda, but since that was rendered useless, they just gave us the feat of ice stone because we had already defeated Valigarmanda. And now we are off after a brief respite in Tuliolo. We are going to be going to the new zone, I assume by air, because when we look at the new zone here, which is Yak T'el, it seems that the only way in or out is by an airship landing, and you can see that with the map here. So it has these dots. This is meaning you can only travel by some sort of a ship. These roadways means we could travel through by foot. So that's where we left off. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna be on my summoner right now. I was doing some stuff on my Pictomancer earlier, so I got some EXP, so I don't need to do that. And then my Darknight I usually run roulettes with. Especially on our server. Our server is tanked healer hungry, so queuing as DPS just takes forever. Alright, let's talk to Alphino here. I'm sure the others will be along shortly. I do hope everyone has rested well. Now that we have refreshed ourselves somewhat, let us consider all claimants as they currently stand. Galool Ja and Kona have completed every feat thus far and hold 5 keystones apiece. Urqopacha would be equal with them but for Galool Ja Ja's thievery, which has left us 1 short. A conniving braggart didn't so much as lift a finger for the feat of proof and wreaked havoc for the feat of ice. He can't have more than 3 keystones at most. He may think he can simply steal what he needs to win, but he's surely mistaken. I will be taking back what is mine. This, I swear. I fear that reclaiming your keystone may not be enough. That is, if Galool Ja Ja's unleashing of Valigarmanda is any indication. Using his lead, I anticipate that he will move to obtain the remaining keystones before disrupting his rival's attempts. We may all find ourselves being forced to take from one another. I can't say I'd be comfortable with that. But neither will I surrender my claim to the throne so easily. If it's for the sake of preserving the happiness of my people, I'll do what I must. The last 2 keystones we require are those of the Lay of Repast and the Lay of the Brotherhood. The former depicts the cessation of hostilities between the Mamulja and Shibral in the forests of Yak T'el, specifically near a village called Urqopacha. Weird name. That's where I was born, if you recall. I haven't been back there since Papa took me in when I was a baby. Where the Lay of the Brotherhood takes place, however, is unclear. In this saga, it is said that a foreign explorer came seeking an audience with the Dawn Servant, but little more than that. Eorzea has a similar tale. The explorer Ketenram befriended a 2-headed king known as the Autarch, before commencing his travels across Tyrol. He journeyed here several times afterwards, but was ultimately lost at sea. At least, that is the commonly held belief. Your 2-headed king certainly sounds like Papa, so this Ketenram fellow must have come to Tuliolo. But if he indeed arrived some 80 years ago, the capital may not have been built yet, vestiges of Yok Huy architecture notwithstanding. Wait, you said Autarch? Didn't you? Then Ketenram must have met the Dawn Servant in Mamuk. Mamuk? Is that a city? One of the grandest in Tyrol, once upon a time, and the seat of the Mamulja's homeland. It too lies in Yak T'el, not far from Urqopacha. Then all things considered, Yak T'el seems the obvious choice for our next destination. From here, the safest method of travel is by dirigible. We should make for the landing once our preparations are complete. But we're riding one of Kona's balloons? They can't be any worse than ships, can they? They're much better. No promises. Ever ridden one, actually. It could be completely different compared to what we have in Eorzea. It'll be fine, just fine. How exciting! The design of Tyroli dirigibles intrigues me. I must note how they perform compared to Eorzean airships. Ready to leave when you are. Yak T'el, where the Yok Huy dreamt of the Golden City. For as much as I wish we could ignore him, Galool Ja Ja is a real threat. We can't afford to let our guard down. The next flight to Yak T'el will be leaving shortly. Passengers are asked to keep hands, legs, and luggage inside the dirigible at all times. I wonder if there's an in-flight safety. Are we sure that thing will stay in the air? All the way to Yak T'el? Are you ready? Bags packed and our goodbyes said? There's no going back once we lift off. Not that I'm nervous or anything, I'm just making sure that you're not nervous. Oh, who am I kidding? My knees won't stop shaking. Hey, will you hold my hand? Just until I've settled my nerves. Of course. You're the nicest person I've ever met, Rohi. I'll try not to crush your hand. There she is, third promise. Wait just a moment. Mablu. Mablu and Tobli. Of course, of course. I'll wait as long as you need. Sorry to delay you, but we were unable to discover the origin of Kryle's earring. Is that so? You said before that it gained popularity in Yak T'el as a protective ward for travelers, correct? That's right. We tracked down the elderly merchant to whom first sales are attributed. According to him, the design imitates an accessory worn by a foreign mage he met at market some 20 years ago. Little did he know that that charming taste of salt would prove to be a commercial triumph. A foreign mage wearing this earring could only be grandfather. Did the merchant happen to mention which market? One in Yak T'el, to where it seems you are already bound. What luck! Then I shall seek my next clue once we arrive. Is it mere coincidence that brought my grandfather there, or yet another discovery to look forward to? Thank you both for coming all this way. Anything for the third promise. Good luck with the rest of the rites. But thanks. I won't let you down. I've just got to board this dirigible and I'm as good as there. Last call for passengers to Yak T'el. Really hope she wins. Yak T'el will test her mettle, without a doubt. The next Dawn servant must be willing to bear the full weight of this nation's history, no matter how heavy it may be.
The fierce Shepral hunters who laid claim to this land call it the Azure Forest, Yak T'el. Battered by meteors in ancient times and colored mesmerizing shades of blue and green by nature, it is easy to understand why the place is so named. It is here where the Shebral and Mamulja once battled for dominance, that the right of succession would reach its climax.
Are you all right?
I've never been good with heights.
The vegetation is far denser than in Kozamautka.
I suggest you pay more attention to the ground, unless you want to walk straight into a cenote.
A cenote?
Sinkholes filled with rain and groundwater. Many meteors fell here long ago, it is said, and after they struck the Earth, it became susceptible to erosion. Deep as some of the pits are, you'll not climb out in a hurry should you take a tumble. So, don't take a tumble.
It was one time.
Is the Shebral community depicted in the Lay of Repast close by?
Aye. We need but follow the path a short way west.
Right. I can't stand here with my knees knocking forever. Let's get going.
All right. Would it kill Erenville to give me the benefit of the doubt or the benefit of a second chance? Worry not, Kral. Worry not. Kral and I will ensure our promise doesn't wind up at the bottom of one of these cenotes. I can hardly fathom how difficult travel must have been before the second promise introduced dirigibles. Can you imagine having to walk all this way? Well, that journey was delightful. The wind was fair and the vessel hardly rocked at all. With thicker vegetation comes reduced visibility. I advise you to keep someone in sight at all times. All right. Oh, there's an Aether current right here. Oh, it... it leashed itself. Okay. Well... that's funny. Necrosis. The enemies are so close to the road. For all of Erenville's insistence, I've yet to discover anything particularly blue about this forest. See? No tumbles, thanks to Kral and Alize, but it still counts. Take care not to get separated. I'd hate to lose you to this rampant undergrowth. Is that Urqopacha over there, I wonder? Well, there's an Aetherite, so... Good. Everyone's accounted for. Urqopacha is up ahead. Let's be on our way. Oh. I wonder if you can fish there. Probably. Just so you know, I shall be very cross if you push me. I would never. Ha! I've fallen into high tide harbor enough times to be a professional diver. There's no way I'd fall into something like this on accident. Are all cenotes this deep, I wonder? What's so blue about this forest? You'll see. I don't wanna see if we can fish here. Oh, we can. Discover the fishing hole. Taking a long time to catch. Right, go back to. Yep. Aaronville was not exaggerating about the cenotes. It would be a grueling ordeal to climb out of one. Well, thankfully we made it here without incident. Let's not dally any longer. Are we ready to proceed? I'm eager to learn more about Urqopacha and Chabral customs. Ready to head on in? Yep. Let's go. Our first task should be finding the elector. Hopefully our relative tardiness will not reflect poorly upon us. The third promise and her retinue, I presume. You presume right. I seek the Dawn Servant's elector. Then come and join us in the Garden of the Stars at the village center. Everyone is waiting for you. Everyone? And who might that be? There is but one way to find out. Come, let us follow him.
At last, we are graced by the presence of the third promise.
If I'd known we'd be waiting on your mangy hide, I wouldn't have bothered with Valigarmanda in the first place.
You self-serving piece of weaver dung! Do you have any idea how many could have been hurt?
Now that we are assembled, let us begin. My name is Hunmuruk. As a Brash Rash, I have the honor of serving as elector on behalf of my people. As all four claimants must be present for this feat, we have eagerly awaited your arrival. Third promise. If you would please join us. Thus far, you have faced each other as rivals. The feat of Repast, however, will test your cooperation. You must complete this challenge in teams of 2.
What? You expect us to work with one of these weaklings?
Be warned. Only the triumphant team will receive keystones. I advise you to cooperate with your partner. Teams will be decided by lots. Those who draw the same color will be paired accordingly.
A shiny pot.
12 forbid Urqopacha is paired with Galool Ja Ja. After all he's put her through, I wouldn't blame her if she did something rash. I might even help.
Claimants, please present your colors.
Alright, take your bets. Who's going to be with you?
I have red.
Blue.
On separate teams, then. And the rest?
Red. Which means...
Together again, as fate would have it.
victory's as good as ours.
With our claimants thus paired, so too is their opposition.
Not the one-head.
I mean, they're all one head.
Listen well, for the trial that awaits you is as follows. Each team is to prepare a sample of traditional Shebrol cuisine. Shibruk Pibil.
And now we must cook. Another ludicrous feat.
So it might seem, but there's bound to be deeper meaning to it.
Agreed. Given that the very future of our nation is at stake, all parts of this rite must have significance.
Our promises have grown rather promising, wouldn't you say?
Indeed. If I were to guess at the significance of the feat, few things reflect the history and development of a culture so clearly as its culinary traditions.
The variety of stewed dishes in Garlean cuisine bespeaks their agricultural roots and cold climes, true.
The peoples we've met on our journey, they've all had different practices involving food and drink. The Hanu replenish their magical energies with reeds, while the Pelu have turned their fondness of beverages into a living. So basically, to know a people's cuisine is to know something of their ways.
With each feat, we have deepened our familiarity with a given community's history and culture. Is this what Father intended for us all along? But a leader with his vision must see that the past doesn't hold the answers we need. It is through embracing innovation, not adhering to tradition, that we will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future. The rules are simple. The first team to prepare and partake of satisfactory Shibruk Bivir will be deemed victorious. You will be judged by your sample's taste and appearance, as well as your adherence to appropriate cooking techniques. Kitchens have been made available for your use. Note that you may be asked to retry should your dish fail to pass muster. Let the feat of Repast begin.
All right.
I've never actually heard of Shibruk Bibil before. Till
I wonder if it's spicy. Let me fix my frame rate. Forgot. I changed it. Isn't like when I'm there we go. Now my VTuber is working. Alright, Ingrid. As much as I would have loved to defeat you all in a high-stakes culinary battle, I couldn't have asked for better allies. For the pairings to be thus decided, the stars align for us indeed. The first promise and Galool Ja Ja are formidable on the field, but in the kitchen, I think the odds are in our favor. The second promise will no doubt have thoughts on how best to proceed. Let us ask for his perspective. Do you suppose the first promise and Galool Ja Ja will wear matching aprons? I dearly hope so. Only 2 claimants can receive keystones from this feat. Intimidating, perhaps, but irrelevant. We shall prevail. I consider myself a connoisseur of all things tasty and Tirali, but this is the first I've heard of Shibruk Bibil. How fortunate that this feat's unique stipulations have frustrated Galool Ja Ja's attempts to delay us. Serves him right. That's what he gets for endangering my people with his schemes. Why doesn't he just compete fairly? He's pretty strong and obviously has a mind for strategy, twisted though it may be. I'll never understand him. Putting aside our competition for the moment, allow me to express how glad I am for this opportunity to work together. As I see it, our team possesses a distinct advantage. Heh, of course we do. Any team I'm on is bound to succeed. Precisely. You mean we have an advantage in numbers? Yes? Our competition has a team of 6, the 2 claimants, Surreal Ja and Galool Ja Ja, as lackeys. Whereas we are a team of 9, that's 3 more people we can mobilize. With the task suitably delegated, it should be a brisk affair to learn the recipe and assemble necessary ingredients. Too easy. Well, we mustn't be overconfident, lest we make a careless mistake that could have been easily avoided. Our first order of business should be determining the recipe for Shibruk Bibil. We can hardly gather ingredients for a dish we know nothing about. Given the nature of this feat, asking for answers directly may prove less effective than simply observing the daily habits of the Shibral people. Let us gather here once we have seen what clues this village has to offer. Alright. We get to see the town. Oh, there's a vista up there. We go inside? No. Well, let's take a look out. Okay, it looks like it's below us. Ah, colorful spices. Light-hearted lady. This should be all I need. Okay, she doesn't tell us anything. A number of spices, some entirely unfamiliar to you, are nestled in a basket. Hehe, that's one called achiote. We mostly use it to add a bit of color to our most popular cuisine, but its medicinal benefits are significant as well. I guess they've been told not to tell us about it. Food ain't ready yet, you hear? Oh, you aren't here for that. Apologies. I get people breathing down my neck constantly like they don't realize a proper meal takes time. Tedious fellow. The recipe for Shibruk Pibil? I wish I could tell you, friend. A dish so delicious is meant to be shared. Alas, we are forbidden from divulging anything. Orders from Hunmuruk himself. But your mention it has given me a fierce craving. I only hope there's still Ibruk to be had at market. Wink. And what flavor would that be? Oh, it doesn't say. Oh, they're doing wrestling of some sort. Informal wrestling. I guess they have to keep their hands locked? That's cool. It's like full body arm wrestling almost. Now there's another thing over here we have to find. Is it in the back? No. Is it in a building? Nope. Oh, they're cloth weaving. Additional. Very cool. Oh. There's a cenote, but they actually have a walkway that goes down. Well, the only other place we haven't checked is... No. Perhaps down below? Nothing down here that I can see. Oh, here's a guy. We ought to cut our losses and head to Mamuk. This feat is nothing but a fool's errand. You're the fool if you think you won't tan our hides for leather if we dare to return without enough keystones. Besides, we've taken from the house cat before. How difficult could a second time be? Oh? What are you looking at, salt liquor? Mind your own business. Welcome, traveler. It seems you've come a long way, so if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Oh. Well, we can talk to him later. It's not part of the quest. Let's attune, since we're right here. Might be someone in that building, it seems. What is this? I'm not sure. They're covered up by cloth. And it's some sort of crate. Cheerful cook. Okay, so they cook things for a long time in the ground? Yeah, this is like covered up with a tarp. It's interesting. Hee, what fun this is. Bright banana peel. An unusually colored banana peel has been neatly arranged on the ground, which appears to be smoking. Oh no, it appears I've gone and dropped my Jatika banana peel. I could barely see it for all the steam issuing from my underground oven. Ah, there's nothing like enjoying a tasty banana while you use the leaves in your cooking. Okay, that guy just gave us like every clue. I love it. What are you guys doing? A banana? Let's smoke. Mm-hmm. So if I had to guess, it's a mix of certain spices for color, and then they use the leaves of the banana for flavoring the dish, and they cook it for a long time underground, covered by a tarp. What else was there? Well, let's find out. Sorry, I'm back. What did we discover about Shibruk Pibil? True to your prediction, the villagers were forbidden from educating us, or directly. However, many were still preparing it as one might a staple dish, and observation of their techniques yielded clues enough. A lady blending local herbs and spices was only too happy to describe the ones I didn't recognize, while neither confirming nor denying any relation to Shibruk Pibil. But one in particular she attributed to all common Shibral dishes at Chiote, she called it. I see. Then if Shibruk Pibil is indeed a dish as ubiquitous as Elfino claims, we have confirmed our first ingredients. Meanwhile, I did observe a cook burying bundles wrapped in the leaf of Najuu, or banana, in certain localities. It would seem the use of subterranean ovens is commonplace. I saw the same. I think we all know what's inside those bundles then, don't you? So the three options are Ibruk without a doubt, a sizzling slab of beef, it smelled so good I could practically taste it, the squeaky flesh of a bipedal fish. I mean, I don't think there was any signs of beef or fish, so let's go with Ibruk. As would be expected of a dish called Shibruk Pibil indeed. So to summarize, this dish is one of Ibruk, flavored with a combination of spices that includes achiote and steamed underground within the jewel or banana leaves. Given our assumptions are correct, we must now learn where and how to procure our ingredients. As a staple cuisine, its ingredients would be close at hand, which is why Thancred and I scouted the surrounding forest while you all were exploring the village. Between the local vegetation and wild Ibruk, we should have everything we need in regards to meat and spices. Leave it to a master gleaner. With that, we should next divvy up our tasks. While some gather ingredients, others should make ready the kitchen. I can help prepare the kitchen. Permit me to assist as well. Our ovens are doubtless require firewood, and I have some experience in its gathering. Yep. I too should be glad to volunteer mine aid. Then the rest of us will gather ingredients. I can make quick work of the spices and herbs myself. I am happy to lead someone to a suitable Ibruk if they will perform the requisite deed, Alize. As for the Najul leaves, I believe I am capable of acquiring that much on my own. Be warned, you won't find Najul in these parts. They only grow in the Jatika heartland, forests far below these. Such an excursion may be time-consuming. Perhaps we ought to try bartering first. This feat encourages our communication with the locals, after all. Lamati Rohi, if you would accompany me on my errand. Sure. No better way to whet my appetites. Good, let us be about our task then. Would it also be beneficial if we were to actually try the local dish first to know what it should taste like? Lamati had no specific task assigned to her, so I made her accompany me, no more, no less. Come on, let's go and get those Najul leaves. The sooner we do, the sooner we can eat. Feisty Brook wrapped in Najul leaves, that sounds like a winning combination to me. Let us see if there are Najul leaves to be had in town. Perhaps the cook Urianger mentioned might be persuaded to spare us a few. An underground oven. This must be the cook Urianger was talking about. The earth here is indeed fashioned into an oven of sorts. Fascinating. Oh, hello again. Did you need something? Najul leaves for purposes other than Shibruk Pibil? Naturally. Unfortunately, I've just used up my last. You'll have to travel to the lower forest for more. Golmajik Grove is the source of the finest Najul leaves you'll find. Wild variants you sometimes see in city markets can't compare. I see. I had hoped to avoid such a lengthy venture, but if there's no other way to obtain our ingredient, then to the Jatika heartland we shall go. Allow me to save you the trip. Traveling there requires that you go through the Tiingbek Traverse, but it has caved in due to the recent storm, I expect. What? Why, that means we can't get our Najul leaves. But we can, can't we? If there were no other way of procuring them, you would have suspended this feat or else altered its objective. Perhaps? Anyway, I apologize for the interruption, but having overheard your conversation, I felt compelled to chime in. That's very kind of you. Any last-minute advice you'd be willing to share? Only to undertake the feat of repast with an empty stomach. You may find Shibruk Pibil to be a delicious but daunting dish to finish. I can't wait. Still, if there are no leaves here and we can't travel for more, how are we supposed to gather all our ingredients? These feats are meant to deepen our understanding of the peoples and cultures of Tuliolo. Though perhaps there is something about Shibruk Pibil that we have yet to learn, something of significance other than its recipe or ingredients. Oh, I see. Like, who was the first to make it? Its history, that sort of thing. If it's Yak T'el history you're interested in, you should start with the Old War. Between the Shabral and the Galool Ja, right? Mm-hmm. These forests have borne witness to centuries of warfare, the evidence of which remains a scar upon the earth. To know the end of that bloodshed is to know Urqopacha. Huh? What does steamed Urqopacha have to do with bloodshed? Precisely the question you must answer. Vexing though such a detour may seem, I can think of no other way to approach this feat. In that case, you may wish to visit the site of a settlement ruined by the war, the village of Ilion Asso. It lies a short distance to the east. The village of Ilion Asso? Understood. Thank you for the help. Come, let's go and see this place. I was told not to talk about Urqopacha. The history of our people and the important developments therein are another matter. I like how this guy's giving us clues. Oh, don't want to fall down there. Alright. I'll go around another way. Oh yeah, that's, I didn't really take a look at this village. Like the different architecture and everything. So a lot of it looks similar to what we've already seen, but also like different. They seem to be built higher, maybe to get above the canopy. And these leaves up here they don't dye them. They're just dried and bleached by the sun. But they do paint their buildings. Just not as colorful as Tuliolol. Maybe the Pelu people have really influenced the coloring of Tuliolol, because they're very colorful. And the Hanu, of course. Of course. A very interesting architecture style. And then we have these kind of monuments or fences or something. Here. Then we got these. Okay. Like a chest of some sorts. Then we saw a bit of their culture with that wrestling there. Okay. And this must be carried by a beast of burden. Otherwise, I don't see it really lifting up. So I wonder what beast of burden they use for their excursions and stuff like that. Oh wow, look at some of these trees though. With like all the stuff hanging down, vines and leaves and crazy. These are like trees we've never seen before in this game. Okay, so it looks like we go down one of these roads. Like the right road on the map here. Everyone knows there was a war between the Galool Ja and Shabral, but I may have forgotten some of the details. The village of Ilion Asso must be further east. Let us continue with haste, for all we know our competitors may be on our heels. I mean, their plan was just to basically outright steal. So... Oh! Watch out for that hole. I wonder if that's a fishing hole, actually. We have fair skies, but like the distance is... That must be so far if we're seeing that kind of thick fog from over here. These little squirrels. Oh, they got like little... They're funny looking. Look at them. So cute. So far, those are the only two enemies we've seen so far. I'm really liking the variety in all the different vegetation they have in each land. Ooh, there's a aether current. Let's go get that. And that's like a piranha out of the water. Ooh, they've got a beach. I wonder if we are like high in elevation over here or low in elevation, you know? Hard to tell at this point because we don't have a horizon to really look at. This place feels forgotten by time. Very overgrown. Everything's boarded up. Damaged and everything. Moss growing all over it. So this is the village of Ilianaso, or what's left of it. It was a place of light and life. My great-grandfather called it home, in fact. Oh, it's Wukevu. Wukevu? I didn't know you were in Yak T'el. I was picking up lumber from Urqopacha when I heard the third promise was on her way to this site of deep historical significance. I immediately saw another opportunity to be of service, and so followed you here. Wukevu is a shipwright who came to our aid during the Feat of Reeds. A pleasure. You are a member of the Third Promise's retinue, I presume? For the moment, I suppose I am. My name is Kona. Pleased to meet your acquaintance. Kona? Now that's a good name. A familiar name. Where have I heard? Kona, as in the second promise of Tuliolo? To think that I address the Dawn Servant's own son as some common retainer. Such disrespect cannot be excused. Please take up your gun and... Oh, come on. No, not this again. I take no offense, so please do not dwell on it. Alright then, I shan't dwell on it. And right on cue, at least he's consistent. I understand you wish to learn about Urqopacha. While I am forbidden by the Rash to divulge any information regarding its preparation, I would be happy to share what I know of Yak T'el's history. We'd appreciate that. In its most basic sense, the conflict between the Shabral and Mamulja was one of land. The Mamulja live in the lower forest, where the thick canopy obscures the sun and the soil is unforgiving to crops. This drove them to covet the upper forest, the home of the Shabral, and they launched a determined campaign to seize it for themselves. Yet advantage ever favors higher ground, and the Shabral forces held the upper hand against the invaders, rebuffing them time and again. But as the state of this village would attest, the tide eventually turned. What brought it about? Something you know all too well: blessed siblings. You must understand, the Mamulja were once a people as much at war with themselves as they were with others. The Hubigo, Boniwa, and Dopro each sought to assert dominance over the others, even as they engaged the Shabral in battle. In an effort to strengthen bonds and discourage infighting, Hubigo and Bunawa leaders arranged a marriage between their children. However, this political measure altered the course of history in ways no one could have ever imagined. It was long believed that partners of differing clans could not have children together. Then it happened. A child arrived who shared the blood of Hubigo and Bunawa both, a two-headed Mamulja. Blessed with tremendous physical strength and magical prowess, he grew into a mighty warrior before eventually arising as the first Autarch, ruler of all three clans. Such qualities would dispose anyone to leadership, character notwithstanding. Under the Autarch's rule, the newly united Mamulja became a force to be feared, and the war soon came to a head. Think it best you see the results firsthand. Let us visit another battlefield from that time, and there I shall continue the tale. Oh wow. Even after all these years, this forest still hasn't recovered. Let's learn more of it. By the 12. What happened here?
This is where most battles were fought between the Shabral and Mamulja, the Shobrit Cinderfield.
A field of cinders, indeed. How fierce their clashes must have been.
The war over these lands began after the Yok Huy's departure some 500 years ago. And for 4 centuries thereafter, the two enemies repaid violence with violence, a constant stream of minor skirmishes punctuated by massive slaughter.
Until Father ended their endless conflict 80 years ago.
Accompanied by a retinue of only 6, the Dawn Servant opposed both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill.
First they sealed Valigarmanda at full strength, and now this.
It was during this armistice that both sides gathered for negotiations at the Dawn Servant's behest.
For too long, you have been bound by your ancestors' violent legacy. It is past time you broke free of it.
Tell that to the Scale Scum! We fight to protect what is rightfully ours! If not for their greed, we'd be living in peace!
Buff your tails and scurry off, then! Cowards like you ill-deserve the bounty of this forest.
Even should one of you succeed in vanquishing the other, your triumph will last only until a new invader arrives. Tell me, do you know of the vast continent that lies far to the east, where numerous nations vie for dominance? You do not. And why should you? Affairs beyond the salt we have no intention to cross are of no consequence to us. Not until those affairs come to Tural, like our honored visitor here.
He's from across the ocean.
I've been to the ocean before, and it's nothing but water farther than the eye can see. What sort of vessel could possibly reach its end?
That such technology exists is indisputable, as is foreign powers' awareness of Tural. If any such country were to develop a taste for Turali soil and bring to bear the might of innovations we can only imagine, what do you suppose happens then? You do not know the warlords of the East, but you know that if they came, they would not settle for a single forest. By joining hands, we might create a unified front, an alliance capable of repelling them or any other foe. There is no greater proof of these than my companions and I. Alone we are weak, but together we triumphed over Valigarmanda.
What? You defeated the Sky Ruin? I'd take you for a liar if the sting of our own defeat wasn't still fresh.
Their coordination was indeed impressive. How the Pelu stymied our efforts to cripple the Yok Hui's legs and defend our ballistas. And when we withdrew to strike again from a distance, the Hanu called the winds to make our arrows miss their marks. In seeking to exploit their weaknesses, we only subjected ourselves to their strengths.
Those strengths are born of cooperation, the guiding principle of the nation we envision.
But our feud has lasted for centuries. How do you expect us to join hands now?
Ha ha! Give us an evening to convince you.
And so began that legendary banquet. One would not expect sworn enemies to abruptly drink to each other's health, and, indeed, a tense silence hung over the venue. But then, the Dawn servant called for the exchange of traditional cuisine. So it was that the Mamulja partook of spiced meat, and the Chibral steamed najul. Before long, delight manifested upon the faces of those present, each side impressed by the other's dish. Seeing this, the Dawn servant laughed and declared once more. Their flavors, he said, would be even better combined, and he proceeded to help them prepare the new creation.
That's Shibruk Pibil, I'd wager.
It is a marriage of Chibral and Mamulja cultures, and proof of their newfound cooperation. The Dawn servant had asked for a single evening, but the feasting is said to have lasted 3 days and 3 nights. So delicious was their repast. In the end, a peace accord was reached, and the Dawn servant's words at that time still illuminate our way forward.
Ignorance begets a strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Sorry. It's just to think that he ended an age-old conflict with food. It's all so absurd. It's somehow so very papa, I couldn't help but laugh.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Now then, I trust you understand the significance of Shibruk Pibil and the history it has written.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing the story with us. What's wrong? Someone was there, you say?
Perhaps our competition is cooking up some scheme or another.
Something bitter and half-baked, no doubt.
Alright, well that was interesting. Centuries-old war ended with food. Never imagined our father was instrumental to Shibruk Pibil's invention. I hope I have been of sufficient service to the third promise. Papa really did live up to his words. He traveled the land and learned about our people's myriad cultures. And we're doing the same now. It's thanks to Wook Ivu that we are able to learn this forest history. That's twice now that he's helped us. To think that we might never have met him if we hadn't thought to fix the floats. Ooh, you get a gift. Wook Ivu has given us valuable insight into the origins of Shibruk Pibil. However, we are still no closer to procuring the necessary Najul leaves, unless... Tell me, what's that historic feast commemorated in some fashion, with a monument, for instance? Indeed it was. Allow me to show you. see a vista. Might as well get that because we're right here. Here's another cenote. Lots of fate. It is only speculation, but I dare to hope. What does Kona want with a monument? Here it is. Offered up by the two factions, these weapons symbolize their vow that they would never again raise arms against each other. Since this feat demands a journey through history, I thought it only logical that a monument like this might steer us true, especially one at the heart of so significant a battlefield. Amity, Rohi, would you help me search this area for clues? Tell me if anything catches your eye. Sure thing. Right? Look here, this soil has been recently overturned. Ooh, someone buried a box. Well, I would have been satisfied to find only a hint, but here they are, fresh Najul leaves. Unmu Rook's doing, Adwezer. There's a poetry in hiding them on this battlefield, given that it was central to the war they helped end. Heh, so he planned all this from the start. Thank you again, Rukevu. We wouldn't have found these leaves without your help. It was my honor to render assistance. And with apologies to present company, allow me to offer my encouragement as well, Third Promise. Ever since I witnessed your performance in the Feat of Reeds, I have been certain that you are the claimant most worthy of leading our nation. All devised solutions to the Hanuhanu's alien crops, but you alone sought to know their culture and revive Iihana, even if it seemed unrelated to your task. In my humble opinion, no one cares more for the people of Tuliolo and what they hold dear. Should you again require the historical musings of an old shipwright, I am ever at your service. For now, I take my leave. I cannot argue with that. We have what we need. Let us return to Urqopacha. I guess we could just teleport there. You have to wonder whether Rukevu is actually a historian and not a shipwright. I'm glad we were successful. The others should be back soon, I expect. I hope so. I'm famished. I'm glad we were successful. The others should be back soon, I expect. How did everyone fare? We got the Najul leaves. Urqopacha came along and helped us find them. Urqopacha was here. I would have liked to say hello. Yes, he gave us an important history lesson. That Galool Ja Ja brought an end to centuries of warfare surprises me little, but to achieve said peace through cuisine is something else entirely. Leave it to my old man to find the oddest of solutions, but how about the rest of you? Is our kitchen ready? Everything should be in order. Urianger and I made another tour of the village and borrowed the cooking utensils we need. With no mention of what we needed them for, of course. And I am pleased to report that we are stocked with the finest firewood this forest had in offer. Spoken like a true expert. Aaronville and I found our Ibruk, so we should have meat aplenty. It was a spirited creature, so much so that its hunter fell down a cenote trying to catch it. What part of never speak of this to anyone did you not understand? I picked a good portion of local herbs, with particular attention to the seeds that yield achiote. I am told our resident astrologian divined the appropriate measurements for the seasoning as well. Through further inquiry did I determine the ideal balance of spices. Then all that remains is to prepare the dish itself. I presume that at least one among us is versed in the culinary arts. I can hardly claim profound skill, but I have cooked for myself. You can leave the rest to me. And you, I hope, as I recall, you are an accomplished culinarian. Mm-hmm. Oh, my mouth is watering already. Without further delay then.
Oh, it smells so good.
Good, there is still time. I shall prepare our sample at once.
At first I wasn't sure about being stuck with the one head. But better that than playing nanny to the mewling house cat.
Be quiet, Galool Ja Ja. No one cares what you think.
Got him.
Huh. Act tough all you like. Victory will be ours.
It's ready. Apologies for the wait. We submit to you our Urqopacha.
looks amazing!
The dish is prepared by using the culinary techniques of the Mamulja to cook the spiced meats favored by the Jabral. It is a symbol of peace between their two peoples after centuries of war.
Both the ingredients and your methods appear to have been correct. Now then.
It just needs the whole thing.
In taste, texture, and aroma, you have recreated Shibruk Bibil admirably. Granted, anyone might well achieve similar results by following the recipe to the letter. But you went a step further. You sought to learn the cultural significance of the dish, about Yak T'el's history of violence and your father's role in ending it. Your willingness to take lessons from the past befits aspiring Dawn servants. And for that, I commend you. All that remains is to partake of your creation. True understanding is gained only through experience.
Now this is something I'm definitely good at.
Ahem. I believe we have yet to receive our assessment. Ours is also a faithful example of Shibruk Bibil, as you will no doubt agree.
I see. While your effort looks the part, unlike the second and third promises dish, it lacks its defining aroma.
Preposterous! The meat was marinated and spiced before being steamed in an earthen oven. This is Shibruk Bibil.
Oh? And what about the Jatika banana leaf?
It's because of you that we couldn't get any damn leaves! You can't fault us!
But the second and third promises had no such difficulty, did they? That which they needed they acquired simply by showing interest in our history and heritage.
Ugh, it's just some crusty old leaf. What difference could it make?
Your dish lacks an essential ingredient. As you have failed to demonstrate an adequate understanding of Shibruk Bibil, I must deem your performance unsatisfactory. Your team will not receive keystones.
This was stupid anyway.
His ambition only grows more intense. That someone could harbor such dark thoughts towards family.
What do I care for this sham of a feat? I can always take what I need later.
This is delicious! The brook is so tender it melts in your mouth, and The way the Najuli rounds out these spices is sublime. This is the taste of harmony. Someone who only knows brute force and deception could never appreciate it.
Choke on your harmony.
Come, come. Finish your meal. That too is part of the feat.
You don't have to tell me twice. Ah, that was bliss. You've got real culinary talent. If you ever tire of adventuring, you can always be my personal chef.
It was palatable enough, I suppose. To you, who have successfully performed the feat of Repast, I present these keystones.
Only 1 feet left.
Well, I should get going then. I'm glad that I wasn't paired with one of the others.
We can do better than that, surely.
Oh.
The 6th keystone is ours. Thanks for all your help, everyone. I forgot something important.
Oh.
Was there any Shipbrook people left? I could really use another helping.
One final feat remains. After this one, I hardly know what to expect. I'm relieved that our dish was well received. We need to start considering how to reclaim that keystone from Galool Ja Ja. Yes, we do. Reviving the first promise of a keystone is a crucial victory indeed. That was so good. I'm already looking forward to having Shipbrook rebuild again. Here, Rohi, Kral made more using leftover ingredients. He'll love it. I'm thinking to buy more for the road myself. Now that the feat of Repast is over, the villagers should be free to offer it to us, right? Oh, we get a tabletop item. New wares are now available. Okay. Feet of the Brotherhood, here we come. Seeing as we now face the penultimate objective of the rite, it would be wise to travel to Mamuk and undertake the feat of the Brotherhood without delay. Wise, yes, but impossible. The T'inbek Traverse, which connects the upper forest to the Jatika heartland, is still impassable. Is there no other route? I'm afraid not. Work to clear the path is underway, though, so I'm hopeful we can resume our journey soon. Then let us each use this time as we see fit. I, for one, would like to explore the village's surroundings, if Erinville would oblige me with a tour. Very well, I have no other engagements. Then I will come with you, if only to prove that I am capable of keeping my footing. Though I shouldn't rejoice in our delay, it does afford me an opportunity to look into my grandfather's purported visit to Yak T'el. Oh, that's right. Bamblu did say something about a foreign mage coming through here decades back, didn't she? I'll come with you. Want to join us, Rohi? Sure. Let us reconvene here after our respective diversions. As I recall, the merchant met with grandfather at a market of Yak T'el some 20 years ago. Any who might reliably remember him must therefore be at least middle-aged. Let us make inquiries where we can. I'm just going to go to the washroom, so BRB. All right. I'm back. Let's continue on. This fellow looks promising, definitely older than I am. I hope someone in Urqopacha knows something. A foreign mage 20 years ago? Yes, I remember him. It's not often we get visitors from across the salt, let alone those traveling with infants. A baby girl, as I can recall. I only saw him in passing, mind. If anyone were to know more, I'd wager it would be Hunmu Rook. He was already Shabrash Rosh then. Baby girl? It couldn't have been. Thank you, sir. That information is very helpful. So Hunmu Rook has been Shirash Rosh for over 20 years. That's before I was even born. Maybe the very lead I was hoping for. Hello again. Do you require assistance? Foreign mage passed through Urqopacha roughly 20 years ago, possibly carrying a young child. Do you remember him? Why do you ask me this? Who is this man to you? He may have been my grandfather, and I wish to know what brought him here. Your grandfather? Not by blood, but he is family nonetheless. A foreign mage did indeed visit Urqopacha, Master Galool. So far as his identity is concerned, I trust you are satisfied? More than that, however, I cannot say. Why not? I simply cannot. I beg your forgiveness and understanding. Very well, I will not press. Thank you for confirming his presence here. The rest I will discover myself. Out of more general curiosity, I have another question. They say the Yok Huy once dwelled in these forests. Where was that exactly? General curiosity, indeed. But yes, before they withdrew to Urqopacha some 5 centuries ago, the Yok Huy claimed Yak T'el as their own. Many of their architectural remains can be found in the lower forest, the Jatika heartland. And that's where they must have had their visions. Thank you. That answers much and more. I understand what it means to long for one's family, so believe me when I say that, though my position forbids me from aiding you further, I wish you nothing but success. By helping the Third Promise find the Golden City, you will surely find the answers to your questions. Oh. Speaking of which, I have a query of my own for you, Rohi. May I request a moment of your company? Okay. Go on, we'll wait for you. Thank you for obliging me. First, let us head to the cenote behind this village. Okay. It was my intention to see you off without saying anything, but Mistress Kryle's plea has softened my resolve. As the leader of our community, I am gladdened to see that the third promise has surrounded herself with such compassionate and trustworthy companions. Would you tell me of her journey thus far? Is that so? It seems the rite has been a source of great learning and growth for Urqopacha. It does me well to hear that. My daughter would be about her age. Girls are rarely born amongst the Chibral, so when she arrived, the village was elated. Such joy I felt when first I held her, and pain when I found her at the bottom of a cenote. 3 years old, an accident, it was said, but I knew better. She had been pushed. Though we never caught them, a suspicious figure was seen fleeing towards the Jatika heartland, towards Mamuk. Once bitter enemies, the Mamulja and Chibral had learned to live in peace. But who could doubt the intent of such a reprehensible act? By targeting the child who would one day lead her people, the criminal sought to undermine the future of the Chibral. I was determined not to let them succeed, and so I let the memory of my daughter die in that cenote and gave her into the care of the one person I knew who could protect her. Dawn servant Galool Ja Ja. Though she was born to lead the Chibral, fate had a better plan for Urqopacha. Only the Dawn servant and I know the truth, but I must now take you into my confidence for one reason. If the villain who attempted to murder my daughter was indeed of Mamuk, then rancor towards the Chibral still burns. I was caught off guard once, and will not suffer the same tragedy again. So I ask you, not as the Dawn Servant's elector, but as a father, to watch over the third promise. Defend her from her enemies that may be lurking in shadow. Will you do this for me? Absolutely. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. Will you hear my question and answer me plainly? Address me not as the ruler of Tuliolo, but a concerned father. Suffice it to say, this conversation must remain between us. Pray breathe not a word of this to anyone. Running out of inventory space. Deal with that later. Just fish. Taking a stand. Crawling the past has rendered me emotional. I require a moment to compose myself, but please do not keep the third promise waiting. I feel better having spoken with you. My thanks. Well then, that's, wow. It's very interesting. I'm trying to, pack all that in. Garden of the Stars is a gathering place of sorts. Everyone in Ixbrash comes here to gaze at the night sky and hear tales about the stars. I imagine it will become even more lively after the changes made for the rite of succession. There is a kitchen now, after all, and nothing brings people together like good food and good stories. Oh, that's cool. So this is like, before the contest, this was like more of a theater and storytelling area. Finished speaking with Hanmuruk, have you? Are we going into a dungeon? On speaking with Urqopacha, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Am I ready? Yes. You're back. So what did Hanmuruk say? It's a secret. Oh? It's alright. You don't have to say. More importantly, the T and Beck traverse still isn't clear yet. Something about even more rocks. Then I think I'll take the opportunity to rest. All that cooking and preparing for it has worn me out. A nap does sound tempting. I feel like we're being watched. A moment, promise. You're one of Galool Ja Ja's. What do you want? I've come to fetch you. You're welcome to refuse, but know that it would be most unwise. And why's that? Sure, your salted friend has an idea. What do you think? And they say house cats don't come when called. Follow me, promise. Well, at least she's not going alone this time.
What is the meaning of this? And just how far do you plan on taking us? Morok! Galool Ja Ja, you snake! If you want my keystone so badly, you'll deal with me and me alone. Leave the elector out of this.
Is that all you think he is? Foolish kitty! This man is the reason we are here. Take a good look at him. Go on, look. Surely you recognize your real father. Don't believe us? Then ask your trusted Sellsworth. He heard it straight from the old man's mouth.
Is it true? Is Morok my... Your silence says it all.
Now that you understand the situation, let's see those keystones. I'll even let you fight for them. Just you and me. If that adventurer attempts to interfere, I'll kill the old man myself!
You despicable, heartless fiend! Kinsman or no, I won't stand for you taking hostages! Come on then! You wanna fight? I'll give you a fight!
Oh, such heroic caterwauling promise. I'm shaking. Guard our hostage well. We wouldn't want to attempt any thoughts of rescue. By the by, house cat, they've been instructed to put down Papa Dearest when you lose. Hopefully he's settled his affairs.
Don't worry. I'm not losing to the likes of him. Well, what are you waiting for, you blessed bastards? It's 2 against 1. Don't tell me you're scared.
I know I didn't hear you right.
Cowards don't stand a chance against Urqopacha.
You dare call us cowards? I'll kill you, kill you, kill you all!
Man needs therapy.
Don't look away, son. I want you to watch as I tear your beloved promise to shreds!
Hey, eyes on me. The house cat, remember? I'll say it again. I'm not losing to the likes of you. I'm going to become Dawn's servant, and I will protect my people!
In this battle, you will play as Urqopacha. Through skillful combat, Urqopacha will gain the resolve she needs to unleash powerful limit breaks. Not only do these attacks deal great damage, they will recover HP. Use them early and often to emerge victorious. Alright. Okay, I'll give us time to read our abilities real quick. Okay. 1, 2, 3 combo. 1, 2, 3 combo. Heal. Ranged attack. Rushes towards the enemy. Okay. Wonder why this one is so much lower potency. Maybe it's AoE? Possibly?
Come, you mangy house cat, so I can rip you to pieces! I'll cut you to shreds!
Lethal swipe.
My magic should be more than enough for Miss Mittens. I'll make you eat dirt.
No more tricks, Galool Ja Ja. We're settling this here and now.
Still playing the part of the brave warrior? Miss Mittens is no longer abusing me, brother.
This rite has taught me so much. About my nation, my people, and myself.
Those are probably donuts.
What? Can't keep up? How do you like this?
Yeah, I guess we do AoE now.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
I finally understand what it means to live in peace. To greet each day in safety and happiness.
Irritating pest! It's time we finished her, brother. This is the end for you, kitten. Know your place!
It's not enough to claim the title of Dawn's servant. I must carry on Papa's legacy, his love for our people.
I'll grind you beneath my heel! Flea-ridden upstart! Why won't you die? Fine! I'll show you the true power of the Blessed!
Active time maneuver.
I will be the next Dawn servant, and I'll protect my people's happiness to the last!
Nice rocks.
That's why there's no way I'll ever lose to the light of you!
What? But that was everything I had!
Well, it wasn't enough.
I can't stand it anymore! Attack! This is our fight! Stay out of it! You bring shame upon us!
You think we care about your stupid pride? This is for Mamuk! We cannot lose!
Oh-ho! The great Galool Ja Ja needs help, I see. Send your whole army. You still won't win. I will prove that my allies are right to believe in me.
Such confidence! What changed? She wasn't like this before!
I reclaim what you stole.
No. How can this be? How could that puny house cat beat all of us?
You've caused nothing but trouble with your dirty tricks. Threatening the Hanuhanu, releasing Valigarmanda, harassing me is one thing, but you've endangered too many innocents. No more, Galool Ja Ja. I will not stand for it. If you even think of tormenting my people again, you will answer to me.
No. No.
And he goes and forgets he had the way blocked.
What? That was his doing?
The only part left in the saga is the Lay of the Brotherhood in Mamuk. The plan was to force you here so we could take the rest of your keystones.
So that's what he was up to. But, should you be telling us this?
What does it matter? You've beaten us. It's over. We'll release the hostage.
I'm sorry. I was careless.
Are you all right? So what Galool Ja Ja said about you and me...
But to single-handedly defeat Galool Ja Ja, you truly are the Dawn Servant's daughter. It has been my honor to bear witness to your journey. Promise.
Promise. Yes. That's what I am. I'm Galool Ja Ja's daughter, and Tulihyolal's next dawn servant. Come on. Let's rejoin the others.
Alright, alright. The twins ran me from one end of the Utolmu horizon to the other, asking about everything of remote interest along the way. Did something happen while we were away? There's a certain satisfied air about you. Aaronville's tour was both educational and exciting. I hope we can persuade him to conduct another in the lower forests. For as weathered as our promise looks, she's positively glowing with confidence. What in the world happened? Ooh, well, we're about to find out. Seems we're last to return. I'm glad everyone made it back safely. Thank you for having faith in me. Keeping out of the fight even when it got dirty couldn't have been easy for you. But Galool Ja Ja won't be the last person to threaten those I care about. I wanted to prove to myself that I can stand up to such villains even when I stand alone. Which isn't to say I won't ask for your help when I need it, of course. I know better than that now. Earlier in the Second Promises camp.
The passage to Mamuk remains blocked. For now, all we can do is try to rest and recover. Perhaps with a meal, as my sister would no doubt suggest. Shall we borrow the kitchens and prepare some Shibruk Bibil?
So thou hast taken a liking to the dish. As we learn to appreciate the unfamiliar, 'tis only natural that we develop new affinities. There is no shame in this.
But there is in ignorance. I had barely considered what the people of Tulihyollal hold dear. What hopes they harbor for the future. Our nation is built upon the bonds that Father forged during his journey across Tural. But so single-minded have I been in my advocacy of foreign innovations that I failed to understand my own people. Could someone who struggles to connect with the populace ever make a worthy dawn servant?
To understand and connect with people is by no means easy. But there is something you can do to pave the way. Let them see you for who you really are. What makes you laugh and cry and rage? That sort of honesty is the first step towards mutual understanding and connection.
Understanding begets fellowship, as my father said. And yet, what you suggest does not come naturally to me.
I, too, have found it difficult to speak from the heart. In thy struggles, I see mine own, painful in their familiarity. Yet frightening though it may feel, if we are to move forward, we must indeed take that first step. Dispense with pretense, and simply be.
Do you remember when you first approached us, and we asked you why you wanted to become Dawn Servant? You said you wished to use the knowledge you acquired in Sharlayan for your country, and in doing so repay your father for the opportunities he afforded you. What won me over was not your ambition, but your motivation. So let your people know this, and in time, they'll come to support you as we do. You can't hide behind that stoicism forever.
Very well then. I will make a greater effort to be myself. By not being my usual self so much.
So what's the state of the Inbeck Traverse? Still being cleared, I'd assume. Hunmuruk said he would notify us as soon as work was done. Then perhaps now would be a good time to consider how we might reclaim Urqopacha's stolen keystone. The next feat will be our last, after all. Oh, I already got it back. Huh? What? When? Not to mention how. This is Galool Ja Ja we're talking about. Well, you see, I kicked his butt. So I taught him a lesson and took my keystone back. You bested Galool Ja Ja in single combat? Bravo. Hehe, what can I say? I had good friends to encourage and cheer me on. There you are. Our excavators have contacted me with news of their success. The Inbeck Traverse is now safe for travel. And we finally can make for Mamuk. Come to think of it, isn't it Galool Ja Ja's home? We can only hope its residents don't share his winning personality. If it is indeed the city where Ketenram first met the Dawn Servant, surely some civility awaits us. I would not be so certain. It is true that the Dawn Servant received Ketenram in Mamuk and was instrumental in the establishment of friendly relations between the Shibral and Mamulja. Since that time, most of the Mamulja have supported his peace, have left their city in favor of abiding in the capital. What remains is a cloister of Mamuk, and while these traditionalists do not take up arms against us, neither do they bear great love for outsiders. Whatever they're like, the people of Mamuk are also of Tuliolo. If I'm to be Dawn Servant, it's my job to know them first of all. Well, we'll be on our way then. I'm glad I could learn about where I came from and eat so much Shabruk Prabil besides. Thank you for everything, Hunmubruk. Until next time, take care. First we make our way across Shabrit in Cinderfield due southeast. How you have grown indeed. Alright, a long roadway to go. We want to go to this lower road. Is the dawn music? No, it's evening. Dusk music. Went into nighttime. There's someone here now. Well, they have a quest. And now we keep going southeast. Wonder if the first and second promises have already arrived in Mamuk. After seeing that battlefield, I find it miraculous that the Dawn Servant was able to negotiate a peace. Filled my bag with Shabrut Pipil before we left, but I'm down to my last serving already. If Galool Ja Ja ran in this direction after losing to Urqopacha, then he undoubtedly was returning to Mamuk. The traverse will bring us straight into the Jatika heartlands. Remember how you insisted this forest is green? Oh, now we get to go into... Ooh, and it's nighttime too, so we're gonna like see it glowing in all its glory. The bioluminescence. This path is quite steep, isn't it? Let us take our time and descend safely. I'll take a moment's rest, I think. I'm gonna take a peek. See if we can... Oh, I see some of it. Ooh. Like eye stones or something? I spoke with one of the excavators on my way down. Apparently, Galool Ja Ja cleared away the one fallen tree remaining by barreling through it. That Urqopacha single-handedly defeated someone possessed of such physical might is nothing short of remarkable. Still, we ought to proceed with caution. There's no telling what his wounded pride might compel him to attempt. Ever the tactician. Well, we're in a cave. I thought that was an enemy. It's just a person. Alize. Aaronville said this traverse was dug to facilitate incursions into the forest above. Intentions notwithstanding, you have to admire the dedication. What's over here? There'll probably be something there later on. Is that water below? Maybe I can go fishing. Oh wow. Just look at this thing. What a vibrant glow. Now what is this thing? Alluring, isn't it? In more ways than one, take my parrying stone and hold it close to the glowing rock. Tool used by gleaners to identify certain geological properties. As you hold the parrying stone in the soft glow, it affixes itself to the boulder with surprising force. Parrying stones are natural magnets, and that's a meteorite filled with iron, one of many remnants of an ancient meteor shower. The heterogeneous aether that they emit causes surrounding flora to glow unique hues, as you can see. So these glowing boulders came plummeting down from the heavens? For Drell be merciful. There you are. Ryle had the same reaction as me. Blue, it's all blue. A far cry from the upper forest indeed. This place is already so fascinating, I'm eager to hear what the people of Mammoet can tell us about it. Keep running, we're almost there. I like this stone pathway pattern. Neat. I like how it's like blue lichen almost. the different types of rocks. More meteorites. Place certainly is fantastical. Look at these, like the fronds on these. That's... Oh, we're at the Aetherites. And here we finally are. Now to find the Elector. Now to see whether or not Hunmuruk's fears were well founded. Rather more quiet than I expected. I wonder what the final feat will be. As this is also my first time visiting Mamuk, I have no experience interacting with the locals, but given Hunmuruk's parting words, I would advise a cautionary approach. See if you can't convince Urqopacha to be cautious as well. City of Silence. Well, we all know what comes next. Let's find that Elector. Two streets seem to converge upon this plaza, so I propose we split our numbers between them. Given Hunmuruk's guidance, I also suggest that we err on the side of caution and move throughout this city in pairs. Inverl can come with me and Alize can go with Kryl. That leaves Rohi to accompany Urqopacha. If these arrangements are to everyone's satisfaction, then may our respective searches be fruitful. Alright. No intentions of speaking with us. I wonder if we'll find a merchant here. Because I need to sell some stuff. Belligerent Bunawa. Yeah, they do not want to talk to us. Hurt Dobro. Oh, he just instantly walks away. Okay. Please tell me you've had better luck. No, everyone just... No one will talk to you either? I was prepared for hard stares and harsh words, but this is something else. That building there looks like a shop, doesn't it? Let's go and take a look. A merchant wouldn't ignore us, surely. Hello there. We'd like to ask you something if you don't mind. No. Move along, outsiders. We're just trying to find someone. The Dawn Servant's Elector. Could you tell us where they are? And now he's fake counting. Alright. How are we supposed to find the Elector if nobody will even speak with us? Everyone, can you hear me? Come to the massive stone structure on the west side of the city as quickly as you can. Oh.
Up there!
Well, look who it is.
Bested by a mere shade.
Gurfurlur Ja. Papa?
Not as you know him. What you see is an arcane manifestation of the Dawn Servant as he was in his prime.
Hot.
The channeler is Galool Ja, Autarch of Mamuk and elector for the feet of the Brotherhood.
Yolal's mightiest warrior, yet wisest you are not. You who spurned your retainer's shade when battling your betters.
To prove oneself superior to blessed siblings by surpassing the shade of Galool Ja Ja himself. That is the final feat. The first promise fought alone and fell short, but that is now the least of his concerns.
You could have let your foolishness end with your failure. But instead, you attempted to harm an anointed elector. Gurfurlur Ja, as of this moment, you are no longer a claimant. I disqualify you from the right of succession. Be gone from my sight.
This isn't over yet. I will be the one to reach the Golden City.
When Gurfurlur Ja was defeated, he tried to take the keystone by force, but he was thwarted by Father Shade.
My dearest child, welcome home. This feat was made for you. Only blessed siblings could hope to defeat Galool Ja Ja. But ere we begin, I would see the fruits of your triumphs. Come, show me your tablets. What is this? Where are your keystones? Explain yourself, boy! No matter. Not all can be expected to go to plan. What keystones you lack, you can easily take.
I tried. But I couldn't. I cannot beat her.
You mean to tell me that you, Glory of Mamuk, for whom all here have sacrificed, were defeated by your inferiors! You are as useless as your siblings. A failure. Leave and never return! You have no place here!
Let's go, brother.
Worthless! Pathetic! This was our chance to claim sovereignty, and he ruins it! But when these stragglers fail, Galool Ja Ja will be forced to extend his rule. And in the next rite of succession, we will present a better claimant. So come, stand before me, and fall.
I won't do your trial.
Oh? You intend to forfeit the right?
Papa wants his successor to intimately understand the country he loves. Every step of my journey, I've learned something about our peoples and their cultures. I would do the same here in Mamuk. The Mamulja deserve nothing less, so your battle can wait.
I'm of the same mind. Father named you an elector for a reason. There must be something that he would have us learn.
Do as you will. But until you triumph over the Shade, you shall proceed no further.
Promise, I would speak with you. Meet me on the western outskirts.
First Promise's attendant just now, did his words not strike you as strange? I will be the one to reach the Golden City, as though he intends to venture there with or without Zeralja. I have heard about this channeling art before. Passed down through a certain clan, it employs arcane implements to produce a smoke from which the mage can conjure a shade. It's hard to believe Zeralja was bested in battle. That was a dramatic escalation. The electors we have met thus far have all had their peculiarities, but each we felt would judge claimants equally. This Zeralja, however, seems set in his belief that only blessed siblings are worthy of the throne. Why would the Dawn Servant name an openly biased man elector? Worrying over Zeralja won't get us anywhere. That lady on the other hand, was the first person to address us with any civility since we arrived. We should go and meet her, hear what she has to say. The western outskirts, right? Mm-hmm. Well, let's go. This is some steep stairs. If Zerilja is Bunawa and she is Hubigo, then whatever her relation to Zerilja, I hope we can trust her. We could do with at least one ally in this city. Finally, a real conversation. She looks troubled. To bid us thus meet with her in private, this is both an important and delicate matter. Thank you for coming. My name is Galool Ja Ja. Here we may talk freely, away from prying eyes. And what was it you wished to talk about? Tell me, what do you think of Mamook? Well, we don't have much to say yet. No one wants to speak with us. All who remain in this city are devoted to the traditional ways. They believe that blessed siblings are superior, that only they are worthy to lead the peoples of this continent. Most would not deign to address outsiders, deeming them beneath notice. Sounds like an ideal community so far as Galool Ja Ja is concerned. I am tired, exhausted by this senselessness. There are others like me, but we dare not speak our truth aloud. Yet now we have an opportunity to reclaim our agency. For you have bested Galool Ja Ja. You, a Shabral inferior by all presumptions, triumphed over our two-headed champion. This time, anyway. Next time, I might not be so lucky, but Galool Ja Ja is just that strong. I seriously don't understand why he cheats so much. It seems to me he'd do better if he just trusted his own abilities. He's desperate. Other blessed siblings have fallen before. Galool Ja Ja of the Silver Scales, for one. He traveled across the salt in search of conquest, only to be overcome. But no matter how the individual may falter, the people still believe in blessed siblings' supremacy. Because of my father. Yes. He who united Tyrol under one rule, who in their eyes stands as testament to the tradition's infallibility. Regardless of your father's virtuous intent, his greatest triumph has only fanned the flames of our people's obsession. However, as both his daughter and claimant to his legacy, your triumph could prove that Galool Ja Ja's true strength lies not in his birth, but in his character, and in so doing, you may give us the strength to renounce blessed siblings forever. I can understand wanting to forsake zealotry, but isn't forsaking two-headed Galool Ja going a bit far? You must decide that for yourself, whether the price we pay is worth an empty dream. Galool Ja Ja labored to break down walls. That this very existence would instead lead some to raise them is unfortunate. Price we pay? Is she referring to the marriages between the Hubigo and Bunawa clans? What I know about Galool Ja extremism is limited to what I've heard through rumors. The same is true for most who hail from Yak T'el. I expect it was for his devotees that Galool Ja Ja joined the Rite of Succession. If I can use my status as the Dawn Servant's daughter to help the people of Mamook, I'm happy to do so, but I'd like to better understand Galool Ja Ja's motivations first. There is a place that will help you to understand our plight. It lies far to the west of here. Follow me. Okay. Is that just a regular enemy or is that a special? It is. Star Crier. Looks like it's an A rank. Looks like an evil space chocobo. Looks pretty cool though. This is so peaceful, but also like mournful. I don't know if you get those vibes or not, but that's what I'm getting. Cenote Junior. So this is like where a giant meteor fell. Let me get that Aether Currents. You won't find sites like these anywhere else. Is that a meteorite up there? Aye, and judging by their attachment, that tree must benefit from the meteorite's unique aether. Anyway, we should press on. Galool Ja was anxious for us to see whatever it is she has to show us. There's a bunch of meteorites. Cerulean Sesudros? I don't know how to say that word. Oh, there's a little hamlet here. Oh, and we're in dawn now. It's 6 a.m. The lighting is the same. The canopy blocks out the sun so completely, it's as if we're in a room without windows. A hunting camp, like as not. I'd like to talk to Galool Ja hunters and learn about their ways, except they'd probably ignore me. The others have continued on. Let's catch up to them. Not stopping here. Okay. Further in we go. How far in are we going? Almost to the other side. There's stairs here. Having seen how dark this forest is, I can understand why so many Galool Ja have chose to live in Tuliolol instead. What are we looking at then? I was not aware that such tunnels could be found in the Jatika heartland, a well-kept secret indeed. A cavern, and it looks deep. The place I would show you is just ahead. This is the place you wanted to show us? It lies just beyond this passage. Entry to these grounds is not permitted even to the devout. Nonetheless, I would reveal our secrets to you. Rest assured, I shall take full responsibility. Come, see for yourself the truth of the blessed.
I shouldn't have looked down.
The stone pier yonder. That is our destination.
To erect it there would have been no small feat.
The work of Yok Huy hands built long, long ago. Our forebears merely altered the entrance.
Altered? To what end?
It will be quicker to show you. We have beasts that can carry us below.
One of these guys.
Galool Ja Ja.
What? Couldn't wait to laugh at the failure?
You've always come here to cry. Ever since you were little.
Mother!
The third promise seeks to learn about Manuk. She may be our chance to finally end what we have been powerless to stop. Talk with her. Tell her what we have done.
Fine. Perhaps it's only right that we be the ones to speak of it. Blessed as we are. Here. This vessel holds the remains of a two-headed Mamulja. An infant. We converted the ruins into a cenotaph, so the souls of these children wouldn't return as vengeful spirits. Do you know how blessed siblings are made?
I've heard that they are born to Hubago and Bunawa parents.
Such unions between clans were originally arranged to stop infighting. The war against the Shibral was going poorly, and we needed to be united. Then, one day, a child was born, one blessed with 2 heads and tremendous power. When this child grew old enough to lead our army, we became unstoppable. The Shibral had no answer, and we drove them all the way back to the trees above. That taste of victory awakened our greed. We became obsessed with conceiving more and more of these superior children, no matter the cost. Of the countless born, most die, trapped in their shells. Only 1 in 100 survive. If we are blessed, it is only because we yet live. Unlike our brothers and sisters, who were sacrificed for the glory of Mamuk.
That's horrible.
Of course it's horrible! It's an atrocity we can never take back. Those children died so that we could live. So we had to succeed, no matter what. To fail would mean it was all for nothing. Nothing. But I did fail. I squandered their sacrifice.
What's the but?
I should never have been born.
You're wrong. You didn't ask to be born as you are, and you aren't responsible for your siblings' deaths. The people obsessed with blessed siblings are. They made their choices, but they don't make yours. Since when do you let others push you around Galool Ja Ja? What do you want? Say it!
I want it to end. I don't want any more to die.
Then you have my word. We'll put a stop to this madness.
Blessed siblings are revered by their supporters as a means to achieve dominance in Tural. If we understand why they harbor such aspirations in the first place, we would be better equipped to treat with them.
Indeed. I just hope they will be open to discourse.
Take me with you. Those fanatics treat my words as gospel.
No. There will be trouble if your father finds out you're still here. Moshu Tural Zush. There we will gather the people, and ask anything the Third Promise wishes to know.
Then take one of my scales. One that blends the Hubiko and Bunewa coloring. It'll serve as proof that you have our trust. People will do as you say if you show it to them. I'm sorry for what I've said and done. I don't expect your forgiveness.
You had your reasons. I'm glad I could know them. Which is to say, you're not a complete alpaca's ass.
Thanks, Wuklama.
Well, maybe it's for the best. Hatred is exhausting, after all.
Indeed. So let us make the most of our newfound friendship and bring together the people of Mamuk. We have much to discover.
I mean, I don't think that completely absolves him, but I can see why we need to push forward with this anyways. Guess we'll find out more and discuss it further. Hey Rohi, before we rejoin the others, could we talk for a moment? I really hated him, you know, Galool Ja Ja, with every fiber of my being. He tried to ruin Ihihana, sabotage us on the river, kidnap me from my keystone, and release the most vicious Tyrell withdrawal of all time. Anything he could do to cause us pain, he did. Never in a million years would I forgive him. But the moment I understood why he did what he did, the pain he's been carrying this whole time, all my anger just evaporated. Still needs to make amends. I hear you, but Galool Ja Ja's motives don't absolve him of his crimes. He must answer for them like anyone else. But right now my duty is to ensure that no one in Mamuk feels desperate enough to go to such lengths ever again. Anyway, thanks for listening. Now that I've voiced that, I feel readier for the challenges ahead. Come on, let's head back to the city. Okay, so she obviously feels the same way. I'm just gonna teleport. We're getting pretty close. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this in time. I do have to leave a bit earlier, so we'll see how far we get. Sometimes it's best to just forgive and move on. It can be difficult. Gods, don't I know it? But that's all the more reason to try your damnedest to look past how you were wrong and let bygones be bygones. I mean, to an extent. It's amazing how Wuklama can connect with anyone. She has an incredible gift. I had no idea Galool Ja Ja was bearing such a burden, had he but chosen a different path. Still, I believe our true character is demonstrated not by right action, but rather by our conduct upon recognizing our faults. It is a struggle I know all too well. To think that there was such a dark secret behind blessed siblings, even among the Mamulja, I cannot imagine many knowing the whole truth, especially not those who reside in the capital. Galool Ja Ja's scale represents his faith in us. We won't fail him or his people. The only way to help Mamook is to understand Mamook. We won't let Galool Ja Ja down. We haven't a moment to lose. According to Milalja, MSQ Zuj is an abandoned settlement northwest of the city. It should afford us the privacy we require. We must work quickly, lest Surreal Ja discover our intentions. Fortunately, Galool Ja Ja thought to give us additional scales, so we might cover more ground in less time. Everyone should take one and get going. Use them to gather as many people as you can. Let's retrace our steps. Maybe this time we can convince folks to lend an ear. Right? Talk with that merchant, maybe. Start selling some stuff. I mean, I could just teleport to another town. Where is this? Oh, it's on the other side. I was too zoomed out. Did I not tell you to move along? I can't be seen talking with the likes of you. Blessed scale is symbol of trust bestowed upon you by Galool Ja Ja. Its blend of Hubigo and Bunawa coloring makes it original indisputable. Origin indisputable. A blessed scale in an outsider's hands? What business do you have with me? So Galool Ja Ja sent you to call an assembly. I'm not sure what to make of this, but I shall go to MSQ Zuj at once. Scale, the blessed trust you, then so will I. So what is that you require of me? There's an assembly. Galool Ja Ja bids us to come to MSQ Zuj. A strange place for an assembly, but very well. I will not refuse he who fights for our dreams. Have you managed to gather some of the good folks? I got 2. Wonderful. The esteemed Galool Ja Ja will be pleased. This fellow here will be coming to MSQ Zuj as well. Apparently, there is a jewel nursery to the west called Golmajik Grove. Could you go and see who you can talk to there as well? I'll meet you in MSQ Zuj afterwards. There's just one more person I need to find. It's... covering a lot more of the map now. Grove worker. Leave this place, outsider. But I have scale. Oh, my apologies. I was unaware. I thank you, blessed Scalebearer, for bringing me word of this gathering. I shall away to Mashutural Zuj at once. Are these the banana leaves? I don't see bananas. Oh, look at these guys. Branch bearer. Cool. Oh, there's a cenote right there. Where's Urqopacha? Right there. Sorry to keep you waiting. You invited the second promise as well? Hi, Lamity. Need I remind you that this rite is a competition? Whatever advantage you're about to share with me, you ought to utilize to your own benefit. I have barely made headway in communicating with the locals. At this rate, you lead the race to the Golden City. I need your help. To complete the feat? No, Mamook has a problem I can't solve on my own, and you're the most clever person I know. I want you to hear the people firsthand so that we might come up with a way to help them. Very well, I am at your disposal. Everyone, thank you for gathering on such short notice. I am Urqopacha, third promise of Tuliolo. Promise? I thought you served Galool Ja Ja. You deceived us. No, they did not. The scales they showed you were mine. I entrusted them to the third promise and her retinue. Why honor these outsiders so? Because Urqopacha has won my trust. Now you will hear her words. Galool Ja Ja shared with me the truth about blessed siblings, about the price you paid to conceive them. As an outsider to your community, it is not my place to judge you or your culture. Culture is born of the experiences of its people, of their lives and their lands. But it breaks my heart to know that yours has brought you all so much suffering. If any here wish to break from the cycle of tragedy that creating blessed siblings demands, I ask that you join us. Please, I don't want any more of our children to die. You think we want this? We have no choice. Only blessed siblings can liberate us from our suffering. Without them, we have nothing. That remains to be seen. Speak with the third promise. Share with her your worries and your pain, and together we may find a new way forward. Together? Hello. She is trustworthy, then I will speak with her. It would be best if you withdrew, my son. Many cannot yet speak freely in your presence. I'm doing well. How are you today? Let's keep an eye out for Galool Ja. He wouldn't take kindly to this sort of gathering. Once we understand everyone's concerns, we'll be better equipped to help them. Let's make sure they feel heard. Not even I imagined that my sister would one day befriend Galool Ja Ja. Who cannot risk her standing in the right to attend to her people's needs? 'Tis a degree of selfishness few can claim to share. Everyone looks uneasy, but their faith in Galool Ja Ja guides them even now. Now we come to hear the heart of it. Worked a few hours in video games all day? Nice, nice. I tried to get work done today, but there was a massive storm and the lightning knocked out our power for a while, and then it knocked out our internet. So I basically did not much and then streamed this. I'm trying to finish it before I go to the gym, but I might have to end it early because it is getting late already. The 94 to 95 quests have been pretty long so far. I'm glad Kona agreed to help us. He's always been good at solving complicated problems. Me, not so much, but I'll support Mamuk's people however I can. By combining our respective strength, we'll help them discover a new source of hope. I know we will. Oh, look at that. Okay, we got to 95. Okay, that's exactly where I wanted to stop. You did a short gym today? Yeah, we had, it was Canada Day weekend here, so the gym was like closed. Ah! The gym was closed on the days that I normally go, so I actually haven't been to the gym at all. I did do a yoga session, but it wasn't that intense or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm gonna go back tonight, and then back to my regular schedule Sunday, Monday, Thursday. That's my schedule. So, yeah, you caught me right at the end of the stream though, but it is nice to see you here again. How was your last stream? Did you win? Are you winning, son? You played some more Valorant, right? You just finished? You're getting clapped? You know, I guess there's two ways of looking at that, right? You can either let it get to you, or you can look at it and go, okay, what can I do to be better next time? Try different strategies, or try different characters. Different weapons, I think, are in that game. I've only watched it. I haven't actually played it myself, so I would not be great advice. Just exploring this zone a little bit. It's the game's fault? You know, sometimes I really felt that way with like Elden Ring. The last controller I had, you saw that controller. Man, that thing betrayed me so hard. There was times where I was just mashing the button and it didn't even register an input once. And I'm like, okay, it really is the controller. But now that I have an actual good working controller, it's definitely me. Although I've been trying out a new magic build. I just started the other day, and I used a mod to give me like a bunch of stuff because I've already played through the game. I haven't got the Tree expansion yet though. But I got a bunch of magic for my character, and I got the magic hammer that you can bonk people with. Oh my goodness, it is so fun. Just bonk, bonk, bonk. The way that they just like go like spread eagle on the ground is hilarious. Yeah, I heard like Sekiro is very like, you gotta play the game. There's only one way to play the game, and that is the one character, right? Like there isn't the different weapons or whatever. But I'll be interesting to see if they actually do a proper PC port, because it's only on console, right? Let's see. Check Steam. Oh, it is. Oh, Sekiro is on Steam. I did not know. Is that the same one? Oh, it is. Oh, it is on Steam. Okay. And it's on sale. Ooh, 50% off. I might have to try this one day, because if you say that it made you so angry, you gotta do crimes. It looks beautiful. I mean, it is a FromSoft game. Have you tried or gotten Shadow of the Erdtree yet? I've seen some of the fights from that on like social media and other things. Damn. It looks intense. But all the new weapons you can get look so cool. So I am excited It's for when I eventually finally get it. Which I don't know if that will be anytime soon, but you know. I'll have to see where I left off on my legitimate character though. You're getting it Saturday? Okay, nice, nice. That's in 2 sleeps, my dude. Are you gonna stream it at all? Or just play it offline? Oh yeah. It's very like relatable because so many people like struggle if they see someone else struggle on a fight or a boss or just on a game that they struggled on, they're like, yes, now I can watch other people do it. Or anything that they can like relate to. Okay, let's see here. Let's go back to the old. Then I'm gonna do my retainers and everything. Every time I play a game, I stream now. Oh, okay. So far, I've been keeping it to kind of more consistent with my streams. Lately, it's just been Final Fantasy XIV. I did do the Tiny Glade demo, and I want to play that again because they did a bunch of updates, even to the demo itself. So that would be pretty cool. It's a pretty nice, chill, cozy building game. I don't know if you've checked it out or not. But yeah, and then I was streaming Elden Ring, like my fist weapon build, but we'll see. My other friends, they bought Elden Ring on PlayStation 5. They bought it on PC because there was a sale, and now they want to play seamless co-op. So, but they always play at really weird hours, so I don't know how I'm gonna stream that if I do. 2 or 3 times a day, so it's just in like shorter little bouts. I know YouTube favors the shorter streams a lot, so compared to like Twitch, where it's like you're better off streaming for like 6 to 7 hours on Twitch, but like the 3-hour streams on YouTube seem to be pretty good, especially for like views later on. It also makes it easier to like, I like to timestamp my videos. It makes it easier to go through them if they're shorter. 2 or 3 hours? Okay. I need to sell some stuff. Alright, I'll just finish this up, and then I'm gonna end the stream, and then go to the gym, catch up. I gotta get my characters to 95 for the next portion, so I'm gonna level up my 3 characters off stream, and that will be. And then I'm not gonna be streaming tomorrow because I'm going to an escape room tomorrow at night. So yeah. But Saturday, I will most likely stream this again. We're going to do the 95 quests, and it's going to be wonderful. Alright, thanks for stopping by, Lou. I'll catch you next time. Alright, retainers are done. Yeah, so just a quick recap, and then we'll do that later. So basically, we found out more of Galool Ja Ja's storyline and why he's been so desperate and to mess everything up, essentially. He's not really, he's not in the right mindset for this this feat, and it sounds like he's really being forced into it from other means, whether it's like a religious group or some group of their peoples that has power over them, over the blessed siblings. We helped out the Shabral, and we found out basically how the Shabral and the Mamulja peoples used to fight, and how their problems were resolved, and we found that out through culinary actions, which was really cool. It was a very neat way to explore into that culture differences and their history. Very heartwarming and very eye-opening too. Then on top of that, what else did we do? I'm just trying to remember everything. Oh, we went to the new zone, so that was a big part of it as well. We discovered Yak T'el, and it's obviously split into two areas here. So the Shabral are in the northern area, and the Mamulja are in the southern area, which is actually like, it's like beneath this area. This upper forested area gets a lot of sunlight. This area doesn't get sunlight, and you can see there's a whole bunch of meteorite holes that pelted this area, and some above as well. But it's mostly like a below area, so all the plants are bioluminescent, which is really cool. And we're finding out more about the peoples there, and we're going to be continuing that with level 95 quests. So I'll be getting Summoner, Pictomancer, and Darknight up to level 95 off stream, and continuing with leveling up my gatherers and crafters as well. And I will also get the mount speed increase for the zone before next stream as well, because that helps a lot. I just need 6 fates. Alright, thanks for everyone who stopped by today, said hello. Thanks for everyone who's going to be watching this later on YouTube. Thank you for your views. Stay hydrated, drink some water, and remember to be kind to someone today, because we don't know each other's struggles. Just like we didn't know what Galool Ja Ja's struggles were. We had no idea that he was fighting for a cause rooted in such atrocities that drove him to the absolute limit of where he wanted to go. He like did all these terrible things because he wanted his people to no longer suffer, his children to no longer die. Like, that was so extreme. So obviously, he still did crimes and stuff like that. He'll still have to make amends for all that, and we'll see how we're gonna go about that later. But yeah, so remember, be kind to someone, even if it's being kind to yourself, all right, I'll catch you next time. I plan on streaming Saturday, so if you want to catch me live, it will be Saturday evening. All right, I'll catch you next time.